Hello everyone, welcome to another Call to Arms event, this time in the North and South mod. For Mountain Blade, Warband, Napoleonic Wars DLC.
Yes, sir.
Great to see so many
Yes, sir.
people in this mod. Mr. Taco from the 63rd.
Yes, sir.
So many people. The Nutty Professor, of course. And this is a warm-up round before the main event. Giving a chance for the guys to get used to the engine's physics and all that kind of stuff. There's Deadwood Star, looking very handsome. Dawn Reaver, Mareski, Taras, Crash and the boys live in Toronto, Jack Rack 4, Elo Vampire, Ike, now that's Gigan Teraptor, and there's Starlin, Nexter Threes, and James Thorne, and at the back, Melkor from the south. So, you can see, obviously, because, I mean, look at just Sedvi with a 469 ping, that's pretty harsh. But a good spread of people from all over the world all come together for one of these Call to Arms events. Always. And we're hearing fifing
For the Union.
from Prosky. Fine fifing and flag carrying as well. Look at that. From Crash and the boys, obviously. Yeah, a little bit of dancing there with Starlin.
Get those gray coats stopped. For the Union. For Lincoln and
So, nothing really to say much about this particular round other than it's a chance for the guys to get used to everything. I mean, really, the reloads. I mean, one of the most important things in this game is the bleeding mechanic. You get stabbed or you get shot, you will bleed. And you will need an NCO to bandage you. Normally, the way that gets fixed is when the person is damaged, they essentially run to their NCO, salute in front of him, and he then bandages them. That's the normal way. Whether or not that will be the same. Oh, goodness me. Look at these guys. Aren't these guys wonderful? Under the command of the man himself with the beard, Mr. Pixelated Apollo, Marcus Aurelius Commodus. And look at the drilling going on with these guys. Right. Whoops. Premature shot there by somebody. So, looking pretty good. Should make for an entertaining evening. And we have another line making their way over as well. Let's have a look at these guys. There he is, the man himself, Feudal Toopsock. He killed me twice in the warm-up, or the pre-warm-up warm-up. Oh, buggers. So, this line moving out under the command of their colonel. Checking through his binocs as you've got these guys moving up. And there's the bleed mechanic coming in from Reckless Mercenary. And drumming the Gentleman Badger. And look at these guys getting set up for the Confederate States of America running across. Down goes Sphinx. Who's the drummer? Oh dear. Poor old Barry. It's Prince Wolfie Aaron. Squire Prince Wolfie Aaron. Oh, Christ almighty. These guys are losing a lot of people. And that's one thing for those of you who are not familiar with this particular mod. Weapons will have an accuracy to about 300 meters as opposed to the usual 100 meters of Napoleonic War muskets. No doubt brought that accuracy. There's Drakthul looking wonderful with a braid on. No doubt brought because of the use of the mini ball and the basic rifling. Kleptomaniac Zetos that was in the barrels. The mini ball would expand when fired. to essentially encapsulate the rifling that was in the barrel, would cause the bullet to spin. Oh dear, horse down. Feudal Tube Socks lost his horse. And that would enable the increased accuracy of the bullets. Ouch, down goes Lost in Powers. Feudal Tube Sock with an attack onto the Badger. And Feudal Tube Sock doing quite well today. So, let's see. Sven Erik going after Gerda Vector. The late Gerda Vector from the 3rd HL. And one thing about this particular mod, yeah, the death noises are rather grim, I have to say. Oh dear. Pixelated Apollo shot down in the field. Poor Pixelated Apollo. Wow. And look at this. They're going in for a stab. Our Indian taken down very quickly by Batman. English Batman, no less. None of this American Batman stuff. English Batman. There he is. Look at him. So, let's see. So this is still the warm-up round. 51 and 45. So it's still pretty even. Random Horse, as we fly past Mr. Random Horse. Captain Lauk. Who's this? Bleeding badly. Oh well, that solves that bleeding problem. And Captain Lauk and the boys. Assassin Viking. Yannick. And Tint Swag. Oh dear, they've just lost Captain Lauk. Cut to pieces. Look at these guys returning the fire. Down goes Assassin Viking. There you go. The next round will be live. The event will be underway. One of these guys causing fun. Sven Erik. Red Rock. And causing fun again. There we go. General Stonewall Jackson. So. All very good. And we're just waiting for the battle to be over. And the event can get underway as Drakthul going in with a bit of murderization. He's going to knock him to death. Ooh, what's this? There's Weedington being finished off. It's the cardboard box. The admin. And the now bleeding admin. Yeah, he's bleeding pretty badly. Got to watch out. He's going to knock him. No, he's going to dismount his horsey and shoot somebody on foot. Or at least fail to shoot somebody on foot. Yep, there we go. And down he goes. The end of the cardboard box. And down also goes new guy, killed by Nutty Professor. So,
Get those grey coat scum.
7 versus 9. The Union has the advantage, I would say, in numbers. Here is the 9. Correction, here is the 8.
Yes, sir.
So these boys,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
here we go, looking for that all-important medicing maybe.
Yes,
Or maybe it's just random saluting. Yes, it's random saluting.
yes, sir.
So we shall pause to have a drink. So, another line getting ready. So, we fly over the long distance past the Great River, on the banks, as the bullets crack past the camera. Here's what remains of Drakthul and co. Oh dear, excuse me. Okay. Who's this random person? It's Drac. Oh dear. English Batman. Making his way out. We follow the last defense. Look at this, it is literally, quite literally, defense. Deadwood Star, Moreski, General Custard. What a fine name, sir. Jamie Thorne. And there's Ike at the end. So, we heartily approve of the custard. So, oh, bit of banding there. Sudden rubber band. Yeah, the occasional rubber band. Understandable, really. Got people on there with 329 pings. Stonewall Jackson going in for a little bit of stabbing. Gives him a bit of rifle butt action. There we go. Butt action coming in from Stonewall Jackson. Oh dear. Someone wants to know how to use his mic in TeamSpeak. And here. Down goes Ike. And on this roadway, there of course is the custard. We're just waiting. Oh, heavens. Could be we need to restart the server. We'll have to wait and see. See how the event progresses. Red Rod 655. Jamie Thorne and the boys. So, look at these guys. All that remains of the forces. Causing fun. Another fine name, have to say. Taking a pot shot. But sadly, unsuccessful. Can't get over the fence. Gotta wait for the gap. Come on, Causing. Take a run at it. There we go. Oh, stabbing goodness occurring over here. Oh, good shot, sir. And down goes poor Red Rock 655. But sadly for Moreski, he's bleeding now quite profusely. As you will see, there you go, the squirts of blood that are coming out his back. Rather unpleasant. And Stonewall Jackson trying to do a little bit of rifle butt action. May not survive, we'll see. Oh, well, blocked. You get stabbed once with the squirt and the gurgle that is an open wound. And down he goes. So, causing fun is the last man remaining over here. So, let's wait and see. You can see him getting ready. He's reloading very carefully, waiting for the guys to come around. He's keeping an eye on them. Can he load in time? Can he get the click? Oh, has he moved it? Oh, but he's missed his opportunity at the shot, now Causing. But his opponent's bleeding pretty badly. Can he get it to a sec? They're both bleeding. Now they're all bleeding. Down goes one, killed by causing fun. And a little bit of rubber banding there. Look at that, fine. Oh dear, poor causing. As Mareski gets the kill. And we now move on to the next round, or at least the first round of the main event. After that rather nice warm-up. Rather nice warm-up even. And we are live, as opposed to being dead. Yes. Always wonder why people would do that event saying, so-and-so live. It's like, well, of course it's live. What do you expect? Never mind. Anyway. One reset and then live. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And here you can see the Union spawn. So the boy's getting himself sorted out into their various areas. And our thanks obviously to Mr. Cardboard Box and the brave grub waiting patiently AFK. Pina Colada 1 of the 73rd. Now who's this over here? Nice selection of forces under the command of Deadwood Star. Now, who's this? It's Gentleman Badger, leading a lovely, nice line of call to armsers as they make their way out. With Uncle Willie at the back. Do the math. Tommy Cool, Duran, Mountain Troll, 10 Bears, Cova, and there, of course, is Gerda Vector. Now, the other line over here, there's Krusty Cookie, Barry, Toast Power, what a fine name, Holy McJesus, and Prince Wolfie Aaron. And you can see these guys. Dace Volt, recruit of the 19th. Which I remember rightly, Dace Volt stands for God Wills It. There's Mr. Taco from the 63rd. Artorius. Tint Swag. Yannick. General Lee. With Fico. And following up, the Brave Grub. So, you can see Mr. Expendable as a colonel of the regiment, keeping the lads together with Pina Colada at the back. You can see them gingerly making their way across this wooden bridge. Now, let's see. The Brave Grub still running to keep up. See, everyone tends to run at a sort of uniform speed.
Come on, you bastards! For the Union.
So, the force is going out. And these guys, oh, look at this. Getting in together into a line as best they can, and look at this over here. Defense by a barn. We'll have to see how it looks. Looks reasonably okay. Kleptomaniac Zito. There's Dracthal. Keeping everybody okay and calm. And Cobalt in as well for a little bit of... And there's the bleeds. Couple of bleeding victims. Now, let's see. Who is in the barn? Chalice. And on the walls, so to speak, or the wooden fences, see the Shid 2 and many others. And these weapons definitely have a good chance of making that particular distance. So that's why you've got to keep your head down just that little bit more in this particular mod. So, there's Dawson. And Uncle Willie. And Darth Angel. Arima. And Chris. So, plenty of bleeding casualties, as you can see. As these guys not really using the medics, the NCOs in any kind of serious way. So there's going to be a lot of bleeding casualties. Some people are saying the bandages are glitched. So it explains why it's not working, especially for people like him. But never mind. Off goes English Batman. And Denisevich. Down goes Chelsea. As now you can see they're being attacked by a Union Army regiment. Out comes the pistol of Mr. Expendable. He's got to pick and choose his battles. Who he goes for, and pretty much most of the people he was aiming for are already dead. Well handled by his lads. I love that. Oh, his death noises. So grim. So, let's have a look at numbers. So we've got 61 versus 58. So it's all pretty equal across the board here. So we're looking at Partisani King, Mikkel, William. And there's Aurelius. And you can see the Black Bishop hiding behind a tree. With the screw upper. Gandalf the Black currently bleeding badly. There we go, some medicing being done. Not sure it's working properly. He's waiting patiently to be healed. Doesn't matter, he got shot. Yes, sir. And dead. So. Let's see. Then the screw upper bleeds out. As we follow Joran. And Captain Lauk. Look at this. Casualties. All over the place. Not really that good, but the boys are still surviving nevertheless.
Move it! Move!
So, let's see. Okay, maybe some of them aren't surviving, but generally speaking, these guys are doing a good job. There's 10 bears, and Kova, and DJ Lawson 1000. And Chris. So, let's see what's going on over here. It looks like these guys are also under attack from another section. Let's see, are they shooting or are they supporting? It looks like, no, correction. It's another line of Union. There's Fico and Clutch Moss and the Brave Grub. Getting involved with a bit of fighting. Overlooked by, of course, Old Glory. As he pauses for libations. Let's watch the Brave Grub take fire. Or fire, I should say. Oh, look at this. Organisation over here, boys and girls, courtesy of Deadwood Star. Krosky and these guys doing a great job of defending the wooden bridge. And Officer Weedington is bled out by Melkor from the south. Now, who is opposing them? Opposite the bridge, Mr. Alex and Uti Player, of course. Iron Wolf and to Smidrick. No, it's Mr. Dick, in fact. Everything. Up everything. And there is Netic Syper from the 17th Alabama. Mr. Alex Toast has been sliced up somewhat.
Yeehaw!
Down goes Colonel Jones of the 53rd. And I need to pause for more drink because my throat is starting to dry out. I do apologise. I've still got this damn cold. And it's very, very tickly cough. And it's frustrating and it's annoying and it's getting on my tits. But never mind. No! The feudal tube sock is down. He bled out. And is no more. Poor feudal tube sock. Okay. Down goes Red Rock, killed by musician Prosky. And a random horse taken by Deadwood Star. Down goes Darth Angel.
For the Union. Long live the Union.
Who's this gentleman? It's General Lee. And over here, the Brave Grub. So, Hate Season and Sedvi. Let's see. Caperenel currently bleeding badly. Now, who's this over here with a flag? It's General Stonewall Jackson. So, not looking too bad, I have to say. We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a look at the numbers. 42 and 8. Oh, the Confederacy are in deep doo-doo. And here are some of them. Let's wait and see what happens. Checking through his binocs, his Uti. This fine little line with Iron Wolf at the back. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. Who's... Oh my goodness, look at this. There is Common Emo. Currently, fine cavalry hat there. Going after the enemy. And the enemy's dead.
Scotland
Come on, you
forever.
bastards!
Come on, you bastards.
So, these guys moving out. Covey. And there, of course, Mr. Badger. Leading this Scottish detachment. And at the back is Fico. Currently having taken a damage to the eye, but seems to be getting on okay. Oh, boy. So it looks like the team speak having a few problems. Some people can't hear the commanding officers.
Scotland forever!
So 7 versus 39.
Come on, you...
See if we can find the Confederates. Here is Uti. This is all that remains of the Confederate army as it stands. And it may not be standing for long. We'll have to wait and see. So Uti surveying the battlefield. But the boys bravely standing and fighting. So, look at this. The corpses that are lost, or the bodies and the people that are lost, defending the wooden bridge. And here we go. It's charge time. Leader yowls. Caperanel. And also Deadwood Star make their way over the bridge. Forcing the issue. Oh dear. Largel is taken down by Mr. Alex. So, this is the all-important attack. As Kappa gets taken down. And the fire coming in from these guys. It's Mr. Dick. And Netic Cyber from the 17th Alabama. And the servers died. Doh. And so we're back on the server and a reset. And the boys are away again. Away again? Away again, even. That too.
Move it! Move! Move!
So, they're going to get organised or are they going to all pile in? We'll have to wait and see. But there is Deadwood Star.
Huzzah!
I'm seeing hornwork from Prosky. He's ready to use his horn. Everyone trying to get... They're very, very close. Ike, extremely close to that horse's ass. Nice hornwork there. Look at these guys all moving out. Don't they look fantastic? Led, of course, by the admin god, Mr. Cardboard Box. Yeah, delusions of adequacy there, Mr. Box. And there's Oscar Nout. Ines Mickle. Ons Mickle. Artorius. Tint Swag. And there's Mr. Taco from the 63rd. And there's Konamimo. And over here, Leader Yowls. The J-Con. And Gubba G at the back. And look at these numbers just flowing through this break in the river. Getting their shoes slightly wet. But still making their way over to this defensive position. And pushing in on the hamlet. And the stone building. Now, question is whether or not they'll be able to get in that stone building. Yes, they will. Oh, heavens. Sadly, they will not be able to use any of the cannons that are in here. But it's nice to see plenty. A nice armory in there. Look at that. Don't they look lovely? So, fortunately, no, I don't think any powder's been kept in here. It's difficult to say. Oh, I don't know. There's probably some in this area here attached to these straps that are on the cannonballs, but not really in a usable state. Whether or not that can be used, I don't think so, because it's just pointing in that general direction, but never mind. A horn! Oh no, someone called background character has died. Lovely work from Prosky.
Move it! Move! Move! Yes, sir.
For Lincoln
Long
and
live the
liberty.
Union.
Get those
And they're away.
scum. Come
With
on
Warwolf
now.
1 at the back. John also there. And another fine line. With Clutch Moss and John Sabin at the back. But leading at the front. Who could it be? It's Mr. Box himself. Now, let's see. Who's this lovely lineup? All organised and disciplined. Who's leading them? These guys all getting ready.
Come on, you bastard!
And there's Tommy Cool. A few guys went a little bit far past the wall, but now the wall's being defended. Gentleman Badger has the boys organised. Look at this. Excellent stuff from Mr. Badger. And down goes the first victim of the battle. And this is what we're going to be talking about over here. Helmuth Run Mothka. Senpai 699. And there's the first casualty of the battle. And Mr. Expendable. Keeping the guys focused. And we make our way over here to the Confederate States of America. With their flag flying nearby. And they're making use of the cover. And fine fifing occurring. Correction! Some of the fifing has come to an end. And there we go, some medicing being done. The Black Bishop is the medic of choice. So they're now moving out. And going to be getting the guys all sorted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It looks like Aurelius Commodus needs some medicing maybe. Is he going to get any? He's waiting. He's going to get a desperate situation. No, he picks up the flag and moves out. And Sir Trad is the fifey. We heartily approve of such fifing. And there he is, the man himself, the leader, the boss, the head honcho, the #1 guy, Pixelated Apollo. Looking very nice with the general marks on his cuffs and shoulders and all the rest of it, but predominantly on his collar. So, let's see. There's General Black and Green Mush and William, and at the back is a Storaz. And there the bleed from Dark Angel onto Anu, that all-important bleed. So he's bringing these guys quite round the horses, or round the houses, I should say, taking his way down this long, wide track. Now the question is, what's he looking to do? He could be looking to maybe sort of sneak around this area here. And that could be a very interesting confrontation. Prosky, unfortunately, signalling his regiment's location with the horn, but... and Gentleman Badger complaining of officer aim. Love it. So poor Gentleman Badger must learn to duck more often. As Prince of Peace gets shot in the head, ironically. And Cobalt also finished off by Krusty Cookie. So, let's see, what are they planning to do? But, more to the point, where is Pixelated? There's Pixelated Apollo's forces there. And they're going to be trying to force the issue. So, let's have a look. Because they've got guys streaming through the trees here. And you can see them getting into the melee with Uti Player, Mr. Mango Man, the late PA or QM, Large All, going up against the Confederate States. There's Mick. He's got to watch out as down goes Uti Player, stabbed to death. Mango Man dies. Iron Wolf gets taken down. Now Mick is finished off. And Captain Lauk going in for a quick kill on Berserker. Manages to catch him unawares. As Eddard Stark dies horribly. And the cardboard Box still survives, getting the guys back together. Forming by him. Let's see. Other forces under Deadwood Star regrouping and making their way out. So, I think we got some people who might be slightly lost as Mr. Expendable holding onto a small line. As Captain Lauk has been medicked. There we go. Who's the fine medic? It's Largel. Fine medicing from Largel. Gandalf the Black. Currently very, very unwell. Was then promptly shot after calling for a medic. Which kind of fixes the medic problem. Never mind. So more lovely volleys coming in from these guys. They continue to fight back, holding the flag. It is Crash and the Boys live in Toronto. Flying the flag with pride. Now, let's see. What is going to occur as we're watching Deadwood. And it looks like they're pushing them right back to their spawn. This could be a problem. You can see they've lost a number of their guys. Smoke is taking it gently back. Sir Trad also. And Rain again. And Don Leon looking, I think, for some medicing. Is he going to get any is the question. As we're getting a little bit of rubber banding. Man coming in for a heal. Is he going to get one? We'll just have to wait and see. And in comes Sir Trad. With the fife. And there is Apollo. As now he appears to be trying to repel the borders. Now they come charging in. As Rommel bleeds out. And look at this. This is a dangerous situation for Pixelated Apollo. Coming in from the left flank and the right flank. Being cut down. All over the place. And it looks like Pixelated Apollo is going to need some healing. And look at this, the final stand of General Pixelated Apollo. Pulling back against the tents as well. Continuing to walk backwards. And finally stabbed at the top of the tent. The end of Mr. Pixelated Apollo. And, of course, they're showing his... his body the respect it deserves. Oh dear. Poor Pixelated Apollo. Finished off. And horribly murdered over a tent. Never mind. We move on. As the boys from the Union continue. There's Gubba G. And let's have a look. 15 versus 44. Oh, the Union have a massive advantage. So, the last stand of Pixelated Apollo is over. And the remaining members, the 15 remaining members of the Confederate Army. And here they are. Kiosis taking cover behind the trees. Xenolith. Iceman 375. And the guy is fixing the bayonets. Simple Yukio. Coming in for the charge. Oh, he unfixes his bayonet. Okay. Let's see what they're planning. Gonna try and see if they can get behind some cover, maybe. There's a nice shot there. As Kyle Griggs is going in for a charge already. But he's the only one going in that direction. Now he pays attention and follows the rest of the team. As the other remaining members of the Confederate States of America pull back across the river. And this may be the last defensive position for them. This is the defensive position they look to be moving to.
Yes, sir.
The protection of the stone walls. A water barrel nearby. And supplies. And, of course, a shitload of cannons they can't use. So. And there we go. It looks like the end of that round. And we move on to the next. And we return for the next round. Now, 89 and 91. Good match. And here, no vampire. Ike, Cerinos, there's Prosky, of course, the Hornmaster, thank you, and the rest of the boys moving out. Warwolf 1, and here, Mr. Expendable, leading his lines forward, complete with Toast Power and Barry carrying the flag.
Get those gray coat scum.
And at the back is Yalak. So, let's see, shall we? What do we have here? Now, this is interesting because the Union are moving up to this defensive position. And it may give them an advantage in a difficult attack because they can essentially hide behind these walls. It'll give them plenty of cover. It'll be about the right height for them to shoot back and will protect their movement around the area, and they've got obviously stone buildings to hide under, or hide behind I should say. Oh look, a stagecoach as well. Shotgun Sam's stage line. You've got to wonder about how good is it to have a stage line with the name of Shotgun Sam, but you know, we'll see. Oh, fine horn work. Look at that.
Get those gray coat scum.
And they're off. As you can see, Officer Weedington, poor Officer Weedington, it's the second time I think in 2 rounds he's bled to death now. A tad unfortunate for the poor lad. Oh, they're turning and they're going back. But these guys, look at these guys in their lovely white trousers. Well, some of them. Of course, Large is the NCO, so he has blue trousers. And of course, the officer up ahead, bar leader Yowls, checking through his binocs for the enemy. And watching as the reinforcements of the Union Army move out. Okay. Gentleman Badger going round in circles. And everyone following as best they can. Well, some of them are. Frame 0. Pay attention. Look at this. Don't they look wonderful? As these guys break in to take cover behind the trees. Ranger in dark. And Mango Man's complaining that his boxers are getting wet. Though I'm not sure boxers existed in that particular time, but never mind. A bit of Bit of license is allowed under the circumstances. So there's Jonas Baban. James Bond style. Or John Saban, I should say. There's N.S. Mikkel. And Teddy Boy 95. So, let's see. What are they planning? So, you can see there that there's one of the spawn areas, the camp of the Confederate States of America Army. And look at these guys. Waiting and moving slightly as the 17th Alabama, Colonel Cianos, moves the guy over, and the fire goes in. General Lee gets cut down. And Mick has died, and now they move and regroup. Bit of dodging left and right. As down goes Krusty Cookie. And who's this taking an awful long time to move back? There we go, that's Fanat 22012. And these guys still taking some fire. Iron Wolf is now bleeding badly. He's going to have to get himself medicing. There we go. Lovely medicing there done by the NCOs. Great to see the guys using the mechanic properly. Always good to see. So now the flag has pride of place. Iron Wolf guarding it. And Fanat and the boys watching. And poor Mango Man bemoaning his inability to get to some people in time to cure them of their bleeding. Fine intentions, but sadly, sometimes it doesn't always work as planned. But, you know, these things happen. Now, what's this? Looks to be a nice section of the Union Army, complete with Silent Drummer from Toast Power. And here is Tarut. You can see here. Who's this? It's Mr. Expendable. As we've just lost General Custard. He has been shot in the bonds. Now, oh no, we've lost Feudal Tube Sucker's dead. Murdered horribly with a bayonet.
Long live the Union!
By Komi Nemo. Manages to claim a couple of people, so that's good. As there you go, you can see now James Bond style defending himself from the attacks of the Confederate States. As it looks like 2 members of the Confederate States of America have been finished off.
Long live the Union!
And fine drumming. We heartily approve of such drumming. So, Mango saying he's going to be busy in the charge with all that medicing that is required. There's Colonel Jones, Niantic Bear, up everything. Fanat. Mr. Taco going in with a nasty kill. John Saban with a fine stab into up everything. You can see another stab as well. As them now being finished off. And there is Tint Swag. So, 36 and 55. Still all to play for. Oh dear. Somebody just took a bullet. Every one of these guys over here, difficult to say.
Get those grey coat scum!
And there is the cardboard box with sword swung ready to engage an enemy that he knows is in the trees. There he is. Here he goes. And a slice into the Mac Troker. And their cardboard box is victorious. And now he gets the guys to regroup around him. And let's see. We can figure out what's going on next. Oh, going to assemble the fellows. Mr. Coconut with fine drumming. Although he doesn't seem to want to finish the whole tune. Excellent drumming. So, Dracthor and the boys in a defensive position. The flags flying proudly in the corners. And the drumming music by Mr. Coconut. Keeping the boys' spirits high. Look at that. So, there's Reckless Mercenary just then. Here is Tinswag and the other members of the line that is following the cardboard box. So, let's see. Remember the Alamo, says Texan, indeed. And the bullets are snapping around these guys. A nice bit of Alamo spam there. Love it. So, looks like Cardboard Box has gone on and not realised that not everyone's following him. Or maybe he's just circling around. So, let's see. Fico, Caperanel, Teddy Boy 95. They are now attacking the defensive position that the Confederate States of America Army are currently occupying. So, let's see. And their background character calling for a surrender of the forces. But I don't think the Confederate States of America Army, despite the casualties from when this was held by the Union forces, are going to surrender it. And here is a charge coming in. Dodging left and right is Super Pan. There's Ranger in the dark. More Ranger in the dark. Super Pan as well. And Prince Wolfie Aaron goes in, blocks, and very nearly gets diddled from multiple. He does. Multiply diddled. Lou Maxa looking around him for an opportunity. The pistol out in Dracthor's hand. Oh dear. New guy trying to defend. And it looks like, by the skin of the teeth, the Confederate States may have held onto it. Super Pan remains alive. Up against Cobalt. Let's follow Super Pan, shall we? Only person left from the Union Army, I think, in this various area. Correction. There's more. It's Tinswag and Yannick in as reinforcements. Down goes another, killed by Cobalt, or Cobalt killed by Yannick. Look at this. More murderizations continuing. And these guys, Numerion, Treaty 28. And down goes Pixelated Apollo, killed by his own admin. Cardboard box murders him horribly with a bayonet. Oh, that's going to be satisfying for him. And Mr. Mango Man, sadly, has been sliced. He is no more. And background character trying to blend into the background. But, unfortunately, well, thank you. It may not be occurring. So shoots a lot. They now have...
Yes, sir.
They now have... So shoots a lot. And here is Cardboard Box. Fight! And it's going in for a fist fight, and he finally gets murdered horribly. And they're on to the next round. I thought that was going to be a fist fight for a second. Never mind, we'll be right back. And we return after a map change. Oh my goodness. Excuse me while I pause. Oh my goodness, there's a preacher. Background character is in as the mighty preacher. Yeah, this is going well. Oh, what a bunch of numpties. I love it. Oh, dear. And they still missed. And, of course, out here, one of the early ironclads. God, they were very low in the water. How did they not have problems? Like getting their gunnels awash with water. Can only imagine what that was like. God. Let's think about being stuck in this metal beast. Just horrible. With that angle to deflect the cannons. Anyway, let's move back to the boaty goodness that occurred. Are they going to move to the boat? No, they're all getting set up and organised. As now you can see them starting to move out from this coastal encampment. Oh heavens, it's the Intrepid. And they've sent it up without anybody in the balloon. Dear oh dear, never mind. And they're all trying to operate the winch at the same time. But, here comes the Intrepid back down again. Question is, who is going to get into the balloon? The observational balloon. And he's in.
Yes, sir.
They're all trying to charge in. It's Nanuka. Nanuka's in there now. So he's waiting to be launched.
Yes, sir.
No, you can't kick him. He's in there. Oh, are they going to execute him? Deadwood Star. I think he may be ordering him out.
For the Union.
Who's that stuck on the edge? There's Sedvi. Haha, got him. There we go, he's out now. And he's missed. Come on, Deadwood, get in there. There we go, Deadwood's in. And now he has to wait to be launched into the heavens. And out come the binocs. As the Intrepid raises ever higher. There we go. And overlooking the battlefield. You can see now. Now the balloon comes down. Someone's deflated it. As Dawn Reaver and the boys make their way out from the Intrepid. Sir Numos. And here's William. A fine beard. Look at that. Doesn't he look handsome? There's Sir Trad. Doing the fife work of the Lord, so to speak. Great work here. Excellent fifeage. With the screw-upper in as the medic. So, waiting with them. And in command, of course. The fine beardage that is Pixelated Apollo. Watching William. And over the other side. I love the voice actor for this. Just beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. Oh. Bone Loose Tash. Doing a great job. As they're trying to assassinate a horse nearby. And he's having trouble getting his leg over. As now you can see these guys moving up. Then to Jen. Trad continuing the fifing. As down goes UT player, killed by a man on horseback. As Nanuka. And now Officer Weedington. The fight of Kazi Bridge. Look at this. Or maybe actually Kazi Farm. We'll call it Kazi Farm. There you go. So Weedington we're following until he gets shot down. Horribly murdered by Puppet Slayer 66. And we've also lost Feudal Tube Sock as well.
Huzzah!
Even though I've absolutely no idea what a tube sock is. I suppose it's a sock that's like a tube. Like a support bandage maybe? I don't know. But I suppose would a feudal tube sock mean it was made out of chainmail? In which case probably a little bit uncomfortable. And here is Snoopy. Working together with Eddard Stark. Sultan Eddard Stark, no less. Lumaxa and Cobalt bolting on the battery. Bolting on a battery? No. Bolting on a bayonet. There's a rather complicated series of text that I completely screwed up. Hurrah for my English ability. This is, after all, my first and only bloody language. You would think I could get it right by now, but seemingly not. Never mind. Oh dear. The pistol of Drakthal seeks out more. As nearby, Sergeant Sumber of the 3rd Virginia. Working together with Snoopy. Oh, those graphics. Oh, good God. Not this again. Look at this. Oh, no. Sometimes the only way I can fix this is by quitting the game and starting it again. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Because you can't watch this. It's just unwatchable. Right, well, we're back on the server. And you can see a brief glimpse of that. That's a problem that I've sometimes had relating to SLI. If this game runs in SLI, sometimes that graphic problem would occur. However, I switched off the SLI, so it's only on single carb mode. So hopefully it shouldn't happen again. And there, of course, background character in as the Man of God Man of the cloth. Not sure why they use that term. As he picks fluff off his microphone. Never mind, sorry about that. Now let's have a look at the numbers. 22 and 20. So it's very, very even at the moment since our sudden departure from the server. But we look over to this hamlet. And there's UT Peter and Rommel. And there, of course, their leader, Pixelated Apollo. And Nick trying not to shoot his commanding officer in the back of the head as the rebel yells come up. And as you can see, it looks like these guys might be penned in again. You can see these guys forcing against Pixelated Apollo's Hipster Nerd. What a fine name, sir. As you can see, checking through the binocs with his nose. Also over here, the Brave Grub, who seems to have changed his look since we saw him last. So, Bandicoot. And also over here, Frame 071, Zayas, the Puppet Slayer. And there's Krusty Cookie. So these boys pushing back against the defensive position. Well, precisely. All Pixelated Apollo. This man here. He's got his navy, or his army Colt out. He's trying to put down suppressive fire. You can see people being hit all around him. Iceman now currently bleeding. Toaster Lion, what a fine name. Killed by the Parble Box. And here, of course, is Gandalf the Black. As Cardboard Box has just been murdered. Sword Saint Juha. Azuras going after Hipster Nerd. And he was successful. Until Azuras then gets team killed. Whoopsie daisy. So. Let's see. As Stonewall Jackson bleeds out. As there's Tutivus. UT Peter. Numerion. Let's see, there's Nick. And Aaron. Let's see. What's going on here? There's not many left over here. Captain Don. Really not a lot of Union and Confederacy remain. The veteran Gizmo killed by Helmuth von Volker. So, here's Trult and Yalak. And there, of course, Helmuth. And there we go, the all charge in 20 seconds. Who's this man with the flag? The brave soul, it's Gandalf the Black holding the flag of the Confederate States up. Charging in already. There we go. And he leaves the flag there. And cuts down Aaron with a shot. And there's the flag remaining in the centre as they all fight for it. The melee continues. Down goes Brave Grub. And down goes Pixelated Apollo. The late departed Mr. Apollo. Poor fellow. Got to get a good shot of that for the screen, for the thumbnail, haven't we? Only fair.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was lovely. See if we can put that on the thumbnail. Anyway. Next round, I think. So here we are. There we go. Another flicker of that damn graphical problem. As away from the Intrepid, up in the balloon goes Bozeman. Looking for maybe a long distance snipe. And there he is. But the only drawback is now the people controlling it have left. So he's pretty much stuck there. So Bozeman currently left behind all alone on the Intrepid as we fly in behind the Confederate States of America Army and see what they plan. Medicking, courtesy of the screw-upper. Flag held by Marcus Aurelius Commodus. And there's Azurus. And up ahead, it's the man himself. So, whoops, finding a plan, figuring out the best way to proceed. Looking for that all-important enemy. And there are the enemy there. Too many theirs. Here they are, moving down onto the Confederate state position. Now they're going to start moving their people into a line so they can put down some suppressive fire. That's what they need to do. Look at these guys, don't they look fantastic? Like the film Glory, those black regiments served with such bravery over the years. Fantastic. So here we are flying back over to Pixelated Apollo's defensive position. And the fine fifing. I mean, this is a man who can fife with a pipe in his mouth and a fife in his mouth. I mean, if that isn't impressive, I don't know what is. The screw-upper, bandage in hand, poised and ready for any kind of medical emergency. So, everything and the boys charging forward. And there's Uti Player trying to bring the guys forward. As Cianos gets taken down by Swirly Yeehaw. Oh God, seems they've decided to pull back. They have decided to retreat to probably what would be a safer location. Horsey over the top. But what caused them to flee is the question. I can only imagine that it was these guys here. Now, let's see. They seem to be putting up a pretty solid defense. They've got the advantages of the trees, albeit they are somewhat sapling-like in their treeness. Not offering a huge amount of cover, but enough to stop a bullet that may be aiming for your head. Might clip your ear, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. So, we're just watching these guys as they are trying to sort of hold down Pixelated Apollo's defensive position. And it's just a matter of time. I mean, you look at these guys, Senpai, for example, and Kleptomaniac Zetos, is the fact that their opponents have a lot better defenses, really. They've got more things to hide behind. They can keep their profile lower. And these guys have less of an advantage. So it's debating as to whether or not they'll be able to do anything about it. There's a Jari currently bleeding out. And so we'll fly over to the right here. You see past another field with all the straw bales. That I think weren't invented like this until the 80s, but I could be wrong. So, aha! He moves out of the woods to the left. And now he's looking around. So you can see the hamlet in the centre. Or the farm with the large white barn. And now Pixelated Apollo forming a plan. And it looks like he's going to try and end around them, but his opponents have noticed. And they have moved possibly away from that position. Look at these guys. There, of course, yes, it's those guys again. So they've moved into a more sort of flanking position. So they could come around their side of Pixelated Apollo. But sadly, Pixelated Apollo had moved away. And Bozeman remains in the Intrepid. Until he gets shot by Hipster Nerd. So the Intrepid has been claimed by the Union forces. And here you can see a mass charge of Confederate state forces led by Partizani King. And this is their quarry up here by the townhouse. It is again the Battle of Kazi Farm. And they actually shot the Kazi there. That's just not on. Is there anybody in there? There is! So there's Zetos hiding out with Superman, or Super Pan I should say, who is currently leaving a deposit. But it provides them with defense. As there's a fight on the car. Oh god. There's a fight in the Kazi. That's never a good thing. Now they've got to be quiet. Oh, look out! The Kazi door's open! And they're attacking. And poor old Super Pan dies on the commode. Unceremonious and inglorious way to be finished off. But reinforcements remain around the corner with Bandicoot and his Uti player moving in for the Confederate States of America to try and finish off those remaining Union forces. We'll watch out for those team damage and team kills. And it looks like the Union's being finished off in multiple ways. And here is Zetos shot in the back. He's going to be bleeding now. He's going to have to turn and fight. He doesn't have a medic nearby. They can choose to leave him because they know now his demise is a matter of time. Yep, there's no one who's going to heal you. It's never going to happen. And there we go. Gandalf the Black finishes the job. So, the Confederate States of America Army victorious in the Battle of Kazi Farm. And now they're all going to go to the pub and get shit-faced. So, we'll have to wait and see what's planned. 26 versus 37 Union. Here is Gandalf. And you can see this line moving out with Apollo looking through the binocs to see if we can see the enemy. There's the enemy up ahead. There is his quarry. What kind of defences are he going to put on? He's going to stay behind the wooden fences. And you may have to put some numbers down on the right-hand side to stop them coming in from this side and taking advantage of a weakened area. However, might be that there's some defences in that area. We'll have to wait and see. And there you can see Margrave of Moravia. And there, of course, Mr. Hipster Nerd. Oopsie Lamba. And these guys getting themselves regrouped, sorted out, and ready to fire back. Look at these guys getting lovely. Oh dear. Getting lovely and regrouped. And now firing back at the Confederate State Forces as they cross into the woods. Fine shooting. Look at this lovely stuff coming in from these guys, considering they probably all never played this mod before. So now they just need to group themselves up. There's Captain Lauk and Hipster Nerd and friends. Huzzah indeed. So, let's see. The Jacon. And of course, Puppet Slayer. Upsy Lamba. And the Nuka at the back. And it looks like they've got into a melee battle in the wooded area. Going to be a very nasty situation. You can see those guys fleeing for their lives, including their commanding officer, understandably so, straight past the Confederate flag and straight through bushes. Try and get back to the safety of the Intrepid as quickly as possible. But they're being followed by Frame 071 and friends, and look at this, they're now going to be fighting for their survival. Look at that, down goes Apollo, killed by Moreski, murdered horribly as he turns to fight. Apparently there's a priest praying in the balloon, which is a good thing to see. Let's go and observe the praying priest in the balloon. There is no priest in the balloon. We've been gypped. So, there you have it, boys and girls. A win as the last man falls in battle. So we're back for the next round, the final round, with Drakthor and the regiment being blessed by the priest, Densovich, who has decided to come armed. Okay, that's a new one on me. Obviously doing the Lord's work. Very important. Also being armed to the teeth. So, let's see who's moving over to the left here. It is, of course, our friend, Mr. Feudal Tube-Sock, veteran of the Calls to Arms event. The Call to Arms. Now, let's see what occurs, shall we? There, the commander, checking through his nose cam. And a little bit of fifage from Sir Trad. Excellent fife work. Fine moustache as well. So, let's follow him. And here is SMQM on the far right, supporting with Don Leon, Nat Starbuck, Gandalf the Black, and Greenmush. And following closely behind Drakthor is his small line with devoted followers and fine soldiers. And fine praying. Oh dear, poor General Black wanted a medic, and they were too busy dancing, and he died in front of them. Poor General Black. Down goes Marcus Aurelius Commodus. As look at this. Upsilamba and the other members of the Union Army come charging in onto the Confederate lines. Down goes Upsy. Down goes Frame Zero. Gandalf the Black fighting back. The Jacon is no more. Nanuka, oh my goodness, under attack from multiple directions. And brutally murdered. Here is Densevich. And now the last survivor of this attack, Captain Lauk, defending himself against the entire Confederate State Army. And look, even the priest as well is getting involved. But now the priest is bleeding. As Captain Lauk continues to run backwards. He's hit a tree. This could be terrible. This could be a terrible moment for him. Now he's running backwards towards the enemy. Look at this. Lauk goes in for a swish. Until finally killed by Bozeman.
And Lord, there be with you. May tomorrow right be successful and victorious.
Amen.
Amen.
Dennis gets healed. There we go. They've healed their somewhat bloodied preacher. There we go.